Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again for yet another deck tech, so please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you haven't done so already, and at the end of the video, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Anyway, today's deck tech, we're going back a couple of sets to Dominaria United. This is one of the legends I never got around to covering from the set, and because it was really popular for a while, I was playing against it a lot on MTGO, and I was like, oh, I just can't be bothered. Popularity seems to have waned, so I figured now is the perfect time for me to go back into this card and see if we can't catch a few people out by surprise when we play the game with it. So, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Tatyova, Steward of Tides. 2 green and a blue for a 3/3 Merfolk Druid that gives land creatures you control have flying, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, 7 or more lands, one land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. Yep, it's going to be the typical blue-green ramp deck that people got really fed up playing against. But, you know, I've never done it. I've never covered her, so I figured time was for today. So, usual selection of blue and green lands, including, the two I always play that people say at me about, Reliquary Tower and Temple are here. But we've got like Terramorphic Expanses in. We've got Yavimar Cradle of Growth, not Cradle of Thing. What else have we got in? Woodland Stream. We've got all three of the, if I can see them, Evolving Wilds is here as well. Where are the gates? There you go. We've got Mana Gate, Sea Gate, and Simic Guild Gate, because gates are useful in this deck, believe it or not. And then we haven't got too much ramp in this one for a change. We've just got Mux Tantalite, so I've got the two colours, off the suspend. Soul Ring just to ramp a little bit, and Arcane Signet. There's not a lot of point doing that, because what you are doing with this deck is putting lands into play, additional lands every turn, and you should naturally just ramp quickly with this deck. So, as you can imagine, because we're interested in lands, there's a lot of landfall creatures in the deck, and a lot of things that interact with lands. So, for example, Burgeoning. Whenever an opponent plays a land, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Fantastic. Collective Voyage. Share your mana, get more land. Jahidi Offshoot. When a land comes to play, it's the first landfall card, by the way. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. Yep, fine. This is 0/3, so it stops all the early beats. Irune Expeditions also in. Going to get landfall. You're going to get 3 quest counters on it and sack it to draw 2 cards. Quite happy with that. Druid class had to come in as well from Forgotten Realms. We want landfall to gain a life, and once we can pay 3 mana and do an additional land on each turn, it becomes even better. Farseek's here. No surprises there, really. Kalani Heart Expedition, again, another landfall one. Go and get a forest and an island when you get it to trigger off the 3 quest counters. Lotus Cobra to help with the early ramp. Rampant Growth to find another land. Roaring Earth is something I didn't know existed, to be honest. I missed this completely in the streets. Neon Dynasty. But landfall and popping up some creatures seems like a good plan to me. It's a landfall deck. You'll have Steve, haven't you? Sylvan Carotid, just for the extra ramping. We've got Sylvan Scrying as well. Go and find a land card, put it in our hand so we can go and get anything we need. 3 visits, goes and gets us a forest card. And Vine Lash Kudzu from Ravnica. Again, another card I'd forgotten about. But, chucking some +1/+1 counters around onto this isn't the worst plan in the world. Retreat to Coral Helms here, so we can scry or tap, depending what we need to do at that time. Architect of the Untamed. We should be able to get up to 8 energy quite quickly with this deck and get the 6/6 beasts appearing. Especially since Azusa's in for the Lost But Seeking. And then, obviously, a bit of a win condition. Beastmaster Ascension is here. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied today. 7 more quest counters on it. Creatures you control get +5/+5. You should be attacking quite regularly, with maybe 8 flying lands. So hopefully it works. Cultivate, again, help the land bit. Grazing Glade Heart, just to gain a bit of life as we do all the landfall stuff. There's the other version, the Retreat to Kazudunza. Gain the life or put some +1/+1 counters around. It's a landfall deck. Of course, you can play Scootsel. Search for tomorrow to search out the lands that way. Tyler's Provisioner to get some treasure or food. Probably treasure tokens with this. Food, maybe, if we're getting a bit low on life, but 9 times out of 10, if you've got this out, it'll be a treasure token. Tyler's Tracker gives us some clues. We got some ways of drawing cards if we need to. Wood Elves finds us a forest and puts it into play. Course for a Crew Fix lets us play lands off the top of our library. And Undergrowth Champion. Yay! Whenever a land enters the battlefield under control, put +1/+1 on it, and then it kind of helps with all the damage prevention side of it. Because we're playing blue-green, I had to play Oko. Doesn't really fit in the theme, but it's Oko and it's blue-green. Same with, but Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath does, enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card, gain 3 life, put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Thank you very much. This is the reason we have all the gates in the deck. Circuitous Route, because we can go and get a couple of dual lands, basically, at any stage we cast this with a bit of luck. Ranger's Path goes and gets us a couple of forests. Garrick's here because you want to untap your lands. You want to make sure you've got the creatures to attack with, off your triggers. Not really sure why I'm playing Adrex and Nev. I'm not producing that many tokens outside of the clue tokens and treasure tokens, but I figured it was worth playing out just in case we could do something funky with it that I've missed. Kaidil, Chosen of Crefix. Yep, just so we got some extra mana ramp. We're not going to be drawing that many cards, but it'll be 1 extra mana a turn. It could probably come out quite happily and something more sensible can come in. And do you know what? It's going to right now as I record the video. There you go. We're going to do a Simic Signet. That makes more sense. And Seer Sundial. Landfall, pay 2, draw a card. Yep, I'm happy with that. Guardian Tazim is a nice little one going back in the day from Battle for Zendikar. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, tap target creature an opponent controls. If that land is an island, it doesn't untap, so that's a nice little link. An Embodiment of Light. Land creatures you control, have vigilance. Yeah, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may have target land you control become a 3/3 elemental creature. So, better version of this to a certain extent. Until the end of the turn. So, land safe. Greensleeves. Marrow Sorcerer is also here. Might as well have this in as well. Landfall gives us some badges. Obviously, badges double up with Adric, so maybe there is a reason behind it. Cura the Boundless Sky. Search your library for up to 3 land cards, reveal them, put them in hand, then shuffle. So you don't miss your land drops. Or you can just make the Spirit. And it probably is going to be the Spirit a lot of the time. Nissa, Vital Force, makes a nice elemental. Makes a big 5/5 elemental with haste, so that's cool. Nissa World Waker makes a 4/4 elemental, not with haste. Primal Command lets us go and shuffle our stuff from our graveyard back into our library and go and find a creature card, which we might need. And Reynolds 7, just chucks a whole load of lands into play if you've got them in your hand, or makes you a really big tree folk. So again, another benefit to having Adrix in the game. Zendikar's Royal. This is one of the key enchantments in the deck from my point of view. Because we're going to be chucking lands out so regularly, we're going to end up with a whole road of 2/2 green elemental tokens. Especially since the other version of Tatyova means that we can draw a card every time we play a land again in life. Royal Elemental shuts anything, doesn't shut down. It lets you nick creatures as long as you control the Royal Elemental. So, you can remove blockers for someone else to kill an opponent. Bootlegger Stash. People are probably going to query this one, but I've put it in because we want our lands to be attacking. So if we get to the end of the turn before our turn, we can tap our lands, make some treasure tokens. We then have all those lands available to turn into creatures, either 4/4s, 5/5s, 3/3s, whatever it is. And still have mana available, so bear it in mind. I think it's quite good inclusion in this deck. The Primeval Bounty. Creature spell gives you a 3/3. Non-creature gives you some +1/+1s. Landfall gives you 3 life. Ancient Green Warden, in case any of our lands do get blown up, or we get, like Blighted Woodlands in the deck. We've got the other ones as well somewhere. Terramorphic Expanse, and whatever the other one is, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's here somewhere. I can't remember. Evolving Wilds. There it is. So let's just replay them. So it made sense to have that in from my point of view. It's another landfall. We've got to have Rampaging Balos. need to win somehow, and beast tokens will do that. Likewise, Titania's Command is quite nice in this deck. You can either go and get 2 land cards and put them onto the battlefield. They come in tapped, so not great. You can't use them there and then. But, you know, either having some bears or some +1/+1 counters, or exiling and gaining some life, I think it fits in here nicely. Eternity Vessel is just something I wanted to try out for this deck. Yes, it's got landfall. Yes, it resets your life total as long as you've got enough charge counters on it. Yes, there should probably be a way of proliferating the charge counters to make sure you're getting a really maximum amount of life. But at the end of the day, it just might save us if we can get this down also like mid-30s and keep ourselves there all the way through the game. It'd be really good. Did you not expect to see the Avenger since it's a landfall deck? No, I know you didn't, so hey, it's there. And our win condition, I could have gone with Crater Hoof, but I decided to go with Kamal Heart of Crozier, so I've got the repeated pump and trample. That's why this is here. Now, in my mind, they are Forest Dryad land creature tokens, and if we can make a whole load of them, hello, yes, that's very nice, thank you very much. We'll have a whole load of flying 1/1s. They can tap for mana, so, you know, don't complain. Genesis Wave is just here because it's a green deck. I haven't had Genesis Wave in a green deck for a while now, but I kind of figured having this in would be quite good, especially if we can get everything going. And then Nissa, Steward of Elements. The only reason this is here is to get to the -6. I'm going to be really blatantly honest about it. Having 2 5/5 land creatures with flying and haste until the end of turn and it still lands, you know, hitting someone in the air for 10 really early on could be good. But that's it. That's my take on Tatyova. It's probably nothing you haven't seen before. I haven't done anything new and funky with it, but I think it's just worth highlighting how good this deck was and how good it still can be in the current format. So if there's anything you think I've missed from the deck tech, please let me know down below in the comments. Please hit the subscribe button. As I record this, we're sitting at 144. So I'd really like you to keep getting that, nudging that number up each month. So if you can hit it, please do. I appreciate it. And hopefully you'll see me play this on the stream very soon. So take care. Thank you. Catch you next time. Bye.